Dum 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 dum. Just getting going here. Checking the stream. Changing today's caption. What is today's date? It is the 3rd. What? That's crazy. Let's see. Just updating. Looks like we're live. 15 minutes. Morning. I think I gotta work on Metal Smith. JavaScript. It's Monday, October 3, 2016. So good morning. It's Monday, October 3rd, 2016. And I'm just getting going here. Let me do a sound check. See if I get any audio first. I don't hear anything. There we go. All right. So, took the weekend off from streaming of all things, which was interesting because I guess for the first time in a number of weeks, I've had I guess I haven't had anything to really to do that day that seemed like it was, how to say this. Well, it's like I had nothing I had really had to do, so I actually was kind of lost on the weekend and just slept a lot. It occurred to me later that I should have gone and seen the Magnificent Seven movie that came out. But maybe I'll do that midweek as a way of recharging. What I did end up doing was writing a whole bunch of stuff about my current process, because when I was noticing that I was kind of falling into this kind of stupor over the weekend. I thought, maybe I should write some stuff down. It always seems to help me. So anyway, I'm just using my Quiver notebook, and I did some reorganization. I now have this habits um, section. Let me just change this so it works. So what I'm doing is I'm adding this key keeps jumping to the wrong place. So over here in the shared notebook section up here, habits is now the very topmost notebook, and I have a number of new things. Weekly focus, which is I think where I'm going to write down what I'm going to try to do for the week. So these are larger scale, um, larger scale strategic goals that are week oriented. Not sure if this will stick, but we'll see. I started a bounty thing for chores. The idea of this is that there's a bunch of things that have just been on my to-do list forever, and I never really want to do them. And on the other hand, I do like spending money buying stuff and eating out and stuff like that. I've just been doing that just because I could. But I thought maybe if I tied the two systems together. So, I mean, these are arbitrary numbers I've picked. Like, if I deposit this check I'm supposed to deposit to the joint account, which I've been dragging my feet on since May, then that'll be off that list. And I haven't done it because there's no pressing need to do it, so I keep forgetting it. But if I get that, I'll get to add $25 to my available bounty number, which is all this stuff. And then from that pool, I can use to buy things that are non-essential office media, blog marketing items, and non-grocery food treats. So basically, snacks, stuff that I can write about for the blog, like if I wanted to buy a fancy kitchen timer or something like that, that would come out of this fund. Um, any non-essential office media would be something like a graphic novel. Since I do interactive design, it's important to be up to date with certain pop cultural and media trends, and so I buy the occasional comic book that's recommended to me by someone. This one was recommended by a bunch of people in a gaming chat that I'm in. And so I haven't heard of this. Let me check it out. $10. And I think what might happen is that my natural instinct to hoard things might make it so that I start spending a little less, or at least go pace out purchases a little bit more. But I don't know what's going to happen. I like the idea though of instead of just rewarding myself with something that's I guess more like more like a pat on the head for myself, or more of like an activity treat. Activity treats don't really seem important. They don't really work on me. The cold hard cash, that seems to work a little bit better. At least I think it will. The real key thing is whether or not this actually holds up for more than 2 weeks. Right now, this is a new and novel system to me that I'm trying out. Therefore, I'm hugely interested in it. But in 2 weeks, my interest may fade or it may continue. We shall see. It was like that when I started streaming. I didn't know if I would like doing this. So I said I would do it for a week, and now we're like at week 10, and I'm still doing this every day. It's become for right now a fundamental part of my daily process, and I'm still figuring out why that is. But I think it's still worth pursuing. And lastly, what I did was I worked on. I have in my blogging daily notes thing. These are like blog ideas. I haven't been blogging for a while, but every time I have an idea about something that might be blog worthy, I write it into this document. So I had been reading this weekend about Tim Urban's "Why Not Wait, Why Not" website. He had written this article about procrastination, and there was something about procrastination monkey, which I found endearing. Someone in the chat room, the co-working chat room at davidsa.com/discord, had mentioned it, and I checked it out, and it was like really informative. Let's see if I can find it. Why not? Wait, but why? Okay, all right. So the procrastination matrix, that was a pretty cool article. Oh, I guess the keyboard's not working. But the why procrastinators procrastinate. This was an interesting article. Apparently, it was very popular. I had missed out on it in 2013, where this came out. But there were some huge parallels with the way I think about procrastination and how I understand myself. And so that put me into a mood of kind of breaking down what it is I thought that made me work. And from that, I realized that there was quite a bit of material that I would like to organize into more of a personal resource than I've been able to do so far. And rather be stuck with like a static blog format, I've been wanting to make it into more of a create something that I'm thinking of as a research content management system or research management system, an RMS, let's call it, as opposed to a CMS, a content management system like WordPress, which is geared toward it's geared toward producing finished content or delivering finished content. An article that's been written, posted, formatted, um, but it's not really a great system for managing research. You want more of a workflow. You want to be something like this application here. I'm using what's this called? This is a Quiver app, but even something like, do we still have Scrivener installed? Scrivener or Evernote. These are more research oriented. Oh wow, it doesn't look like my Scrivener is. Oh yeah, here's the Scrivener file. I wonder if this has been updated in a while. It's on the other screen. Let me move it over here, which I can't because I'm full screen here. Ugh, terrible. So I mean, if you compare these side by side, these will look very similar. Although, actually, Evernote and Quiver app will look more similar. But I actually had forgotten how nice Scrivener is in some of its ability, its formatting. You have your notebook tray on your left. You have the articles within each notebook area. This is really designed more for research, which is nice. What I don't like about it is that at the time, it was difficult to write code in this, whereas Quiver app was much more amenable to it. And I didn't like the way that Scrivener handled its fonts. Oops. It was just something that kind of bothered me about it. It was like a little bit slow. It was a little bit unpredictable. Whereas I can stick in markdown mode all the time with Quiver app, and it generally works except when it does not, which there seems to be a problem with their HTML rendering engine getting stuck every once in a while. But I'm just running my mouth off here. It's probably 7:10 already. Anyway, getting back to the idea of making a research management system. In fact, let me put that into my habits. System. That's something like keyword this week. Research management system. Should just put in my quiver, which you can't see right now. But research management system, that is going to be based on the work I've been doing for the Nerd Magazine project, which is um, the website plus print publication I wanted to do to showcase what my fellow nerds in New Hampshire are doing, and at least my friends. Because I think it would be cool and mysterious to make a print magazine that just sort of appeared out of nowhere in the area and just see what happened. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. More of a let's see what could happen and what opportunities are unlocked by this, or does it fall flat on its face? Worst case, we've tried it and it failed. We have some magazine templates and maybe we've printed some stuff. That's worth a memory. The best case is that it forms the seed of continuing ongoing nerdity in the area, which makes it more interesting for me and my friends. And perhaps we get new friends from that. But that technology that goes into the Nerd magazine, which is using something called Metalsmith and and Gulp, to create a website from a collection of content modules, that's something I need sooner now than later. If I want to do this is the basis for the research management system, I think. It's the publication part, and I think it can generate the workflow from that in a publicly shareable format. I mean, right now my blog is kind of that, but it's based around WordPress. I've tried to do it with, let me show it. So my website right now looks like this, and I have these areas, that are roughly organized by project, but accessing it is a huge pain in the butt. I mean, like I'm clicking on things, and it's taking 10 seconds, 13, 14, 15 seconds for it to load in. And this isn't on a $100 a month server. And, I guess I could, update the amount of memory and RAM and stuff like this, but inherently this is slow. It's also dependent on a lot of plugins, which is probably slowing stuff down, which doesn't help. But this is a significant investment to try to get this all to work again with a new system. So I'm not planning on really replacing everything at once, but what I do want to do is at least have the research management system portion of it in place. So let's start doing that for 15 minutes. And again, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue to work on the Nerd Magazine project, but knowing that in our ultimate goal is this has now become a 2-for-1 project. The technologies that I resolve there will now be also used for my new website sometime in 2017, I'm hoping. In the meantime, the websites can run side by side. I can have the research management part run in a separate directory next to the WordPress install, but eventually just migrate all that stuff over. And I have some optimizations in mind. So now I'm just going to launch this thing. So we've got this. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to switch to my web directory, to Nerd Metal, and to the build directory. I'm going to run gulp. And over on this side, I'm going to open that browser again, and I'm going to go to localhost. I think it's 9,000 now. Yep, 9,000. I might as well turn it back to 3,000, because that's where I am all the time anyway. Now I need to pull up Sublime Text, so I can edit this stuff. And let's put this into one column mode and shrink this down till it's on the other side. If I can grab the edge, which it's not letting me do. Because reasons. It'll be later. I'll get back this week to the music stuff. Oh, that's weird. No, this is the wrong project. Project Nerd Sublime. There we go. And we are back to this. So where did we leave off here? I'm going to do something here. I'm going to rename TestMD to Nerd Plan. So I'm going to get move, and this is going to be called Nerd Planning Document. Title will be Nerd Planning. These are all correct. And what I'm going to do here is save this. That's interesting. It looks like it didn't clean everything out. Let's see if I can do that. Go up, clean. That should actually deleted everything. For some reason, it did not. Oh, it's because this is still called test. So I want to rename this also. Didn't I just do that? Nerd planning. Not under version control. That's odd. That was supposed to delete it. Maybe because I had it open, it prevented it. Anyway. So now we have our nerd planning thing. Nerd plan. Learn a dev plan, let's call it. And what I'm going to do in this, let's rename it again, get move. The reason why I'm using get move is because I have all this committed to source control on GitHub. And this is going to be where I'm going to write down my what I'm actually doing. And this get move is not working the way it's supposed to be. Strange. So what are we going to write here? Today is October 3, 2016. Created nerd dev plan. Then we are using this for the new davidsay.com research management system. So what features need to be developed? The current base is we have the ability we can save files in articles and have them appear as permalinks in a collection. We can save templates, articles. You can save markdown files. The hell. Markdown files. And static assets, and see a live reload occur. And that's really it. What we don't have is we can make templates in Jade with subparts, with subtemplates, and assign them to pages. I think we do. Things we want to do. What came to mind was I wanted to be able to make citations. Or today's new feature focus. Citations. A citation is, or cited content. Cited content is a block of code, a block of text in the RMS. Um, I'm gonna define. I'm rewriting the definition in my head before I'm typing it, which is probably not very interesting if I don't say anything. Cited content is a block of text in the RMS that can be developed and refined over time. It's a self-contained research question or definition. It could be a hypothesis. These exist as as content with slugs, and also as a citation slug. I guess article slugs and citation slug, and have additional metadata that categorize. It's not unlike a custom post type in WordPress. So I guess I'm implementing custom post types with the various indexing. Unlike custom post types, cited content can be embedded in any other content. And so we can see the linked chains of related blocks. By a linked chain, I have to rewrite that later. I just wanted to capture it. Everything is related to everything else, but there are hierarchies that evolve. So we can see the emerging hierarchies. For example, I write about procrastination a lot, and I write about techniques within the procrastination that relate to my mental state. My mental state can be broken down into a number of processing modes and framing modes. By a processing mode, I mean a way that I'm gathering data and interpreting it and determining what to do about it. And a framing mode is like, well, what do I want to do? What's the greater context of what I want to do? And so each of those concepts needs some definition someplace. I've rewriting them and rewriting them and rewrite them in for years. I'm kind of tired of rewriting all this stuff. It would be nice if I started to assemble it into something that's more concrete, something that's more browsable. And so that's what I'm thinking about cited content. I think it's this is a building block of research. So each individual piece can be investigated and then linked together, and then greater conclusions can be drawn, which brings me to aggregated content, or aggregated analyzed content, let's call it. I know these are awkward names. These are meta blocks that comment on a collection of cited content. So, for example, can pick three or pick a bunch of topics or content blocks, and then write something about how they all relate together. It's like the parent of a bunch of nodes. The cool thing about this is that it starts to group. cited blocks together. This is where the insights start to happen, and creates a graphable structure that might lead to future insights. So these are general. These are general research concepts. Research blocks. Let's call this cited content one a topic. A topical block, and this would be a meta block. These comment on collections of cited topical. So if this doesn't make sense, so here's topic, procrastination, which itself might be broken into topic, motivation, which might itself be broken down to topic, something. And so I guess these are actually the same status structure. I could take topic motivations and then break it down into, I suppose, elements, but I'm going to call them topics now. Top motivation 1. So the idea is to, I guess, in programming terms, make a refactorable content type. So as I drill down into the individual topics and break them down and deconstruct them, I can break them into smaller contents, and then at the end of the day, I should be able to run some sort of database query over the entire thing and then see, well, what's all the related content for this? Where did I mention it? When did I write it? How does this correspond to other data in the system that can help me understand the context with which I had these thoughts? Are there any tagged imagery? And so what's being created, not only, there's like a unique reference content. Well, there's a unique reference for each block, but each block can be related in any number of groups. I don't know, this probably seems terribly abstract to people who are watching, but this is how I usually drill down and break things apart. And I do this primarily through writing right now, which it's fine if I'm writing articles, but right now I'm not writing articles. Right now I'm really focusing more on process and not sharing this stuff, because it seems very raw right now. I guess I'm getting my outlet through doing the live streaming stuff and learning to talk and think at the same time. And I think I'm getting a little bit better at that. I still don't pronounce my words very clearly, and I speak too quickly, but there is a small improvement to the way I'm doing it. And so this is good. This is good media training. Slowing down my thoughts is not a bad idea either. Anyway, my 50 minutes are up. Let me save this. Let me see if this actually, if I click on it. And look. Oh, you can't see what I just did. So I just saved this document here. So now my planning for my development is now stored in the website system. And which means that I am what they call eating my own dog food. And as I save things, oh, that doesn't seem to work. That was supposed to, oh, there we go. And so I can now, as I save things, I can save them within the system itself and build, hopefully, a research management system, which is very exciting. Um, so small progress made. The features I developed for this will be very useful for a nerd because everything that I'm going to put into here is going to be a feature that is necessary for the magazine, like layout formats, particularly images. If I can get this research block thing working, that would be amazing. Have an idea of how it's supposed to work. Now there's the task of translating that into how to Metalsmith and Gulp. So that's a plenty big challenge that should pay off sometime in the next 6 months. Okay, but anyway, that's the morning stream. I have to go and get my blood test done now, and then I can actually eat something. I've been thinking about eating something since yesterday, which is the last time. Well, I guess yesterday at noon, which is the last time I ate something. Or 4 p.m., actually. But I'm surprisingly not that hungry. I'm just drinking hot water. But anyway, happy Monday. Hope you have a good day and get some stuff done. And tell someone that you love them. Pet your cat. Uh, do some exploring and tell someone about it. So anyway, have a good day. I'll see you all later.